Welcome to Silly Stories for Kids. With us, the Ramsden Girls. A podcast where our dad makes up a silly story. Just for you. Okay, let's go.
One day, two little kids named Audrey and Margot were at home. Now, they'd been playing a few different games, and now they had decided to play with something very different. One of Audrey's favourite things in the whole entire world. Hey, Margot, do you want to play with the Play-Doh? Yes, said Margot. I love Play-Doh. Let's play Play-Doh. That could be very fun. So they raced over into the toy room to try and find the Play-Doh. They went to the tub that it was normally in, but all the Play-Doh was missing. That's a bit strange. They went to a different area to try and find some more. They started going through every cupboard in the house, but they could not find the Play-Doh anywhere. What is going on? Said Audrey. Where is all our Play-Doh? As she was talking, she saw something strange out the window. There was a pointy blue hat that seemed to be bouncing past the window. What is that? She said. I don't know, said Margot. Let's go look. So the girls raced across to the window, and there, outside their window, was a funny-looking wizard, and he's got all our Play-Doh, said Audrey. Quick, let's go get him, said Margot. The two girls raced outside, and when they got there, the wizard was still standing there, holding all the Play-Doh. Who are you? Said Audrey. I am Bomfrey, said Bomfrey. Bomfrey, why do you have all our Play-Doh? Because normal Play-Doh is boring, so I am Bomfrey. What do you mean you are Bomfrey? Said Margot. I am Bomfrey, said Bomfrey. We know that you're Bomfrey, but what are you doing with our Play-Doh? Come, see. Ah, yes, come. The girls went over to have a look, and when they got closer, they saw that all the Play-Doh in his hand was exactly like normal. Yes, it's just our Play-Doh, but we still don't understand why you've taken it. Because I am Bomfrey. We know that you're Bomfrey, but what are you doing with our Play-Doh? Oh, yes, Bomfrey will show you what he's doing with the Play-Doh, so because I am Bomfrey. Oh dear, said Audrey. Bomfrey put all the Play-Doh down on the ground. Then he started to put the piles into different positions. He seemed to be making some kind of strange pattern out of all the piles of Play-Doh. What is he doing? Audrey whispered to Margot. I don't know, said Margot, but let's keep watching. As he put out all the different bits of Play-Doh, they all seemed to be placed in a bit of a circle. Okay, said Bomfrey. Time for Bomfrey. What are you going to do, Bomfrey? Watch, said Bomfrey. He pulled out his wand and he started to wave it over the top of the pieces of Play-Doh. As he did, they seemed to do something very strange. They started to grow. What are you doing? Said Margot. Bomfrey is making Play-Doh trees. No, but when you play with Play-Doh, you just make things out of the Play-Doh. No, I make it out of the Play-Doh and magic. See? Bomfrey Play-Doh trees. The girls looked, and sure enough, each of the spots that he had put a piece of Play-Doh had now grown into a tree, entirely made out of Play-Doh. Why would you do that, though? Said Audrey. Watch, said Bomfrey. As they watched, the trees continued to grow, and then they started to grow fruit. Look at that. See? Play-Doh apples. Play-Doh apples, said Audrey. Grab one, said Bomfrey. Okay, said the girls. They raced over to the trees and grabbed a Play-Doh apple each. They looked at it. It looked so real, but Audrey squeezed hers, and it's still Play-Doh, she said. I can still smush it into whatever shape I like. Oh, yes, Bomfrey, said Bomfrey. It's very cool, Bomfrey, but what do we do now? Collect all the apples. Why? Said Margot. Because. Let me guess, said Audrey. Because you are Bomfrey? Ha! I am Bomfrey, said Bomfrey. So the girls went along and started picking all the apples from the Play-Doh trees. Once they'd collected all the apples, they put them in a big pile in the middle of the trees. What do we do now? Said Audrey. Watch, said Bomfrey. He pulled out his wand once more, and he waved his wand over the apples. As he did, they started to change. They went from apples, then lifted into the air. As they were in the air, they then seemed to change shape. It was like they were being chopped up, but there was nothing there chopping them. The little slices of apples then went into one big pan. What is that for? You'll see, said Bomfrey. Next on the Bomfrey. What do you mean next on the Bomfrey? Come on, Bomfrey. Bomfrey grabbed some more of the Play-Doh. He picked one of the apples off the ground and squished it into a ball. Then he placed it in the middle of the circle. Bomfrey. This guy does some strange things, said Margot. Yeah, said Audrey, but it's a bit of fun. Then Bomfrey waved his wand over the top of the bit of Play-Doh that he had placed on the ground. In no time at all, it lifted up into the air. Then it went over to the tray that had all the apples and sealed itself over the top. "It's making a Play-Doh apple pie," said Audrey. "It is," said Margot. "Now we need Play-Doh oven, Play-Doh oven, Play-Doh oven, Bomfrey, Bomfrey, Bomfrey," said Bomfrey. Can we help?" "Sure," said Bomfrey. Here you go." He handed the girls the wand. How do we use it?" "Start with the Play-Doh and then see what you can make." Okay," said the girls. So they grabbed a few of the Play-Doh apples that were still growing on different trees. They smushed them into one big lump. I guess we wave it and think about an oven?" I guess so," said Margot. "Give it a go." Audrey waved the wand towards the big lump of Play-Doh that was in the middle of the ground. But the magic did not work as expected. Instead of turning into an oven, it turned into... "What is that?" "Uh-oh," said Bomfrey. "What do you mean, uh-oh?" said Margot. "I think you have made a Play-Doh Oh No." "What's a Play-Doh Oh No?" "Well, it is when you do something wrong, not like Bomfrey, and then you say, 'Oh no!'" Why would we say oh no, said Margot. Because at that moment, the lump of Play-Doh stood up, smiled, and then started running around, grabbing all the apples. "Because watch," said Bomfrey. "Oh dear," said the girls. As it collected the apples, it then started throwing the apples at Audrey and Margot. "Ah!" said Audrey, ducking behind one of the Play-Doh trees. "Oh, I am Bomfrey, 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 Bomfrey," said Bomfrey. "Bomfrey, help! How do we stop him?" "Oh, you must use the wand and make a friend." "Make a friend?"
"Yes, Play-Doh Oh No's need friend Play-Doh Oh No's. And then it is a, oh yes."
"What?" The girls were very confused. I guess we try and make a friend then," said Margot. "Good idea," said Audrey. "I'll grab some apples." One got thrown across straight towards Margot. It was about to hit her, but she caught it. "Good catch, Margot," said Audrey.
"Oh, good catch. Bomfrey, Bomfrey, Bomfrey. I am Bomfrey."
"Oh dear," said the girls. They grabbed a few more apples and put them in a pile on the ground. "Let me try this time," said Margot. She took Bomfrey's wand and she started to wave it at the pile on the ground. As she did, it started to stand up. "Is it working?"
"Oh, I am Bomfrey,"
said Bomfrey. "Oh dear." It stood up and it looked at the other Play-Doh Oh No. "I think it's working," said Margot. Then something very strange happened. Bah! It started running at the other Play-Doh Oh No, and they started to tackle each other. What? They were rolling around on the ground, having a big tussle. "What is happening?" said Margot. "You said it would make them friends."
Maybe I got it a little bit. Oh no."
"You made a mistake," said Margot.
"Yes, we all make mistakes. Oh no, I am Bomfrey."
"Oh dear," said the girls. "What should we do?" "Well, they are Play-Doh," said Audrey. "Yeah, they are," said Margot. "Maybe we could shape them into something else?" "Good idea. But I think we need to make some armor first to make sure that we're protected." "Good idea." The girls started carving pieces off the trees that were made out of Play-Doh. They used it to make very special armor for themselves. Then they looked at the two Play-Doh Oh No's that were tussling in the middle of the circle. "Let's get them," said Audrey. So Audrey and Margot raced into the middle of the circle. "There's only one way to fix this," said Margot. The girls came at the Play-Doh Oh No's from either side. They said, as the girls reached around and gave them the biggest, squeeziest cuddle that they had ever experienced. The girls held on to the Play-Doh Oh No's and hugged them and gave them as much love and kindness as they possibly could. As they squeezed tighter and tighter and tighter, all of a sudden they started to giggle. They were happy. They were starting to be a lot happier. Then they looked at the girls. They turned around with their arms and started to cuddle the girls back. It was very strange.
"Oh, Bomfrey, 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 Bomfrey,"
said Bomfrey, dancing around the outside, doing cartwheels around the outside of the trees. "Oh dear, I think we fixed it, Bomfrey," called out Audrey.
"Well done, Audrey. Well, we still need the oven, Bomfrey, Bomfrey."
Yes, we do need the oven, but maybe you could do it this time?"
No, I will help you, Grab some Play-Doh."
The two Play-Doh Oh No's that were now very happy were helping the girls to collect more Play-Doh. They made a pile of it in the middle of the circle.
"Now take the wand, Bomfrey."
Okay, said Audrey. She picked up the wand again.
"Now point it, and this time, instead of thinking of oven, think of what you want to come out of the oven."
"Well, I guess it's the apple pie, isn't it?"
"Yes, Bomfrey, Bomfrey,"
said Bomfrey. So Audrey waved the wand at the pile of Play-Doh, very nervous. and she thought about the apple pie coming out of the Play-Doh oven. It worked. It made the most amazing Play-Doh oven the girls had ever seen. It was big enough to fit the giant pie inside. The two Play-Doh Oh No's went over to the apple pie that was still sitting on the side and popped it in the oven. Then they twisted the Play-Doh knobs on the front, and in no time at all, ding!
It's ready for Pomfrey,
said Pomfrey. The girls laughed. They went over and opened up the oven and pulled out the amazing Play-Doh apple pie. The two Play-Doh Oh No's were so happy they could smell the Play-Doh tastiness. The girls were very happy too, because it looked incredible.
Now we need a table, Pomfrey, make a table out of a tree.
What? Said the girls. Pomfrey grabbed one of the trees, pushed it over, and made a big flat spot in the middle. There was a table for everybody to sit at and share some of the apple pie. The girls sat down with Pomfrey and the two Play-Doh Oh No's and cut up the apple pie into pieces that they could all share. They all had some. The girls only pretended to eat it though, because they'd been told not to eat Play-Doh. Pomfrey, on the other hand, took a very big bite.
Ooh, salty,
he said. The girls all laughed.
Okay, Play-Doh time is over. Time to pack up,
Okay, said the girls, but how do we pack up all this Play-Doh? Yeah, it's everywhere, said Margot.
Oh, the Play-Doh Oh No say that they can help doing the packing up.
How are they going to do that? Said Margot. They watched, and the Play-Doh Oh No's started tackling all the trees. As they tackled them, they pushed them over, and then they rolled them, until in the middle of their yard was one gigantic ball of Play-Doh. It was so huge. The Play-Doh Oh No's then waved to the girls and ran at the ball as quick as they could. When they hit it, they became part of the Play-Doh ball too.
Okay, now Pomfrey will wave the wand.
Pomfrey waved his wand at the Play-Doh once more, and it went back down to the normal-sized packets that the girls had. It worked, said the girls.
Of course. Everything works with Pomfrey because I am Pomfrey.
Thank you, Pomfrey, said the girls. That was very, very fun.
Yes. Next time I will come and maybe we can play with, let me think. We could play with glitter?
No glitter, said the girls.
Okay, I am Pomfrey. Goodbye,
said Pomfrey, and he ran off into the distance, waving, cartwheeling, and clicking his heels. The girls picked up their Play-Doh and went back inside. Their mum was there waiting. Oh, girls, are you going to play with the Play-Doh? No, they said, we've already finished. What did you make? Said their mum. Well, said Margot, I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you. And that is the end of the story.
This episode is brought to you by Pomfrey's Magic Play-Doh Apple Pie. If you are hungry for something very salty that you should not eat but looks very pretty, get a Pomfrey Apple Pie. This has been me, Pomfrey!
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.